What if you could challenge the Pokemon gyms in any order? I'm Adrian, and in this video series, we'll explore this idea across every Pokemon region. In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you can tackle the gyms in any order, but your first gym battle is often against Katie or Brassius since they're right next to Mesagoza and their teams are weak enough to accommodate new and beginner players. However, if you choose any other gym leader first, they'll probably be too strong for your current team, and once you're strong enough to defeat them, the earlier gyms you skipped feel way too easy once you go back to them. Typically, Pokemon games force you to follow a set path where you travel from city to city in a linear trail, but if you want to make the experience more interesting and fun, adding level scaling to gym leaders depending on how many badges you've earned will give you a fair, fun, and more memorable fight at every gym, regardless of the order that you challenge them in. So, in this video and the next upcoming videos, I'll create teams for each gym leader from every region that scale with your progress, including rematch teams once you've defeated the champion. I'll also come up with hypothetical Elite 4 teams for each gym leader and a team for them if they became the champion. Let's see how I'm going to do that. For each gym leader, I'll create their gym leader teams with only Pokemon of their type specialty, with some exceptions like regions not having enough Pokemon of a specific type. For example, Brock could use Cubone because their characters mix well together and it learns a lot of rock type moves, but he can't use Zubat in his gym battle just for the sake of it. I'll also be using the national deck so we can be creative with the teams we give them. Here's how I'll build their teams. With 0 or 1 badge, they get 3 weak Pokemon, serving as a warm introduction to the Pokemon League. With 2 or 3 badges, they get 4 Pokemon, as you should have a decent team by now. With 4 or 5 badges, they get 5 stronger Pokemon, as you should have a lot of fully evolved Pokemon by now. And finally, with 6 or 7 badges, they'll use a full team of strong Pokemon, preparing you for the Pokemon League. After defeating the Elite 4 and Champion, each gym leader will have a rematch team with their strongest Pokemon team that's not limited to their type or region. For their Elite 4 team, they can use Pokemon from different types and regions, just as long as at least half their team is the type they specialize in, and as long as it works, I'll try giving them a Mega Pokemon if possible. Their Champion team will be very similar to their Elite 4 team, but with a lot more type diversity, and with a powerful Pokemon team that conveys the challengers that yes, this person is the strongest trainer in the region. Alright, now that we've got our team formats down, let's start the series with the first gym leader of the first region, Brock. Okay, before we give any new teams to Brock, let's analyze his character real quick. Brock is a gym leader from the Kanto region who specializes in rock types. He likes rock types so much that his favorite term is rock hard, which he uses to describe his willpower, determination, grit, his Pokemon, and their defenses. Everything about his character is rock hard. Pause. Given this, he should have access to every rock type in Kanto. His starter and signature Pokemon has always been Onix, which he received as a 10th birthday present from his dad, so it's always going to be included as his signature Pokemon. He's also a passionate fossil digger and lives next to a museum, so he's definitely using Kanto's fossil Pokemon. However, despite his rock hard character, he's a softie at heart. In the anime, his dream was to become a Pokemon breeder and doctor, so I'd like to give him a Pokemon or two that represents this dream. He's also quite mature and wise, until he's around beautiful women, turning him into a reckless flirt. Yup, rock hard. Anyways, I'd like to give him a Pokemon that reflects this characteristic from the anime. And finally, I'd like to include a few non-rock type Pokemon from his anime teams into his Elite 4 and Champion teams because of how entertaining and iconic they are. Now that we've established what kind of Pokemon to give to Brock, let's make him some good Pokemon teams. When you challenge Brock as your first gym battle, his team will consist of Geodude, Omanyte, and his signature Pokemon Onix, giving somewhat of a beginner-friendly introduction to the Pokemon League. Once you have 1 badge, Geodude gets upgraded to Rhyhorn, and Omanyte gets upgraded to Kabuto, which are basically stronger versions than their predecessors. At 2 badges, Brock uses 4 Pokemon now, which are Rhyhorn, Omanyte, Graveler, and Onix. If you didn't notice, I'm rotating between Omanyte and Kabuto each team to diversify the teams each level. With 3 badges, since Onix isn't strong enough to be the ace at this stage, he'll no longer be Brock's ace at this point. His team now is the same as before, but with Onix as the starting Pokemon, Kabuto replaces Omanyte, and Graveler evolves into its final stage, Golem. At 4 badges, Brock will now use 5 Pokemon, which are all of his previously used Pokemon, with Omanyte, Rhyhorn, and Kabuto evolving. Quite a strong team this looks like until you remember that all of them have 1 or 2 quad weaknesses. Go ham. At 5 badges, Kabutops is replaced by a powerful Aerodactyl, giving Brock a counter to ground and grass types. With 6 badges, Brock has a full team now with all the Pokemon he's used so far. And if you challenge him as your last gym leader, his team now includes Rhyperior. Yeah, if you have a grass type in your team, this is an easy sweep, but it works as a team for Brock. Now, when you've finally beaten the game, you can challenge him in a rematch against the strongest team he can create as Kanto's rock type gym leader, which will consist of Sudowoodo, Golem, Aerodactyl, Blissey, Rhyperior, and Mega Steelix. Sudowoodo is a funny and iconic Pokemon that he has in the anime and is so goofy that it perfectly fits Brock's team. Blissey is another of his iconic Pokemon from the anime that represents his Pokemon breeder and doctor aspirations as well as his responsible and caring behavior. And Mega Steelix is the strongest form that his partner Onix can evolve into and is the strongest Pokemon in the anime. Moving on, if Brock worked rock hard enough and became a member of the Elite Four, there will be changes to both his team and his appearance. As he's now one of the strongest trainers in the region, I think this calls for an outfit change. So instead of wearing this plain outfit, here's an outfit that I found that conveys his new power and position. Yeah, this is his Cygnus suit from the Masters EX game, and it looks pretty good. Got the muscles showing and the toes glowing. Now here's the team I came up for his Elite Four team. First, he gets Sudowoodo, Aerodactyl, and Blissey from his gym leader teams, keeping his rock type specialty and aspiring Pokemon breeder and doctor dreams. Second, he keeps his Mega Steelix as his partner and Ace as his only right. He gets Tyranitar now because it's a strong rock type from the nearby Johto region, and surprisingly, no one from Johto really uses Tyranitar that much, not even the dark type specialist, Karen, herself. Also, he uses Tyranitar in Blacktooth and Whitetooth and in his Cygnus suit team in Masters EX, which who would have guessed is the outfit I've given him just now. And the final member I gave him is Toxicroak because his Croagunk in the anime is one of the best characters of all time. Well, maybe not that far, but no one's ever dealt with Brock's weird flirting like he does. It's also extremely strong. Here's a clip of it destroying an attack from the God of Time. Legit, no one in the entire anime's got more aura than this guy right here. No one. Imagine if it evolved. Yep, that's it. I'm switching him in Mega Steelix so he's the new ace now. Nothing's changing my mind. And as an Elite Four member, I think he'd have some experience traveling around different regions enough so I think he can catch and use Toxicroak and Tyranitar. I could have included Rhyperior, but I think too many people from Kanto and other regions have Rhyperior as their ace, so I think he can hold off for now. And finally, if by some miracle he becomes the champion, he should have a diverse team in terms of typing so he's strong enough to become the champion. The team I whipped up for him is essentially the same as his Elite Four team, but instead of having 3 rock types in the team, I replaced Sudowoodo with his Crobat from the anime. Crobat was an underrated Pokemon of his in the anime and was a very handy tracker for Brock and the gang. Plus, giving him Crobat lessens the weakness against grass types in his rock specialist team. And that is the team I gave him if he became the champion of the Kanto region. And that's the end of the video. I'm quite happy with the teams I made for Brock, and I think they all capture his character very well. Thanks for watching. The last video I made was like a month ago since I caught a devastating cold right after, so if I sounded a little sick in the video, you know why. Anyways, if you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to catch the next parts of this series where I make new teams for Misty, Giovanni, and all of the major trainers in Kanto. That's it for today, and see you in the next video. Peace.